Honestly, I'm a little disappointed. What's up, y'all? I'm Shanae Nicole, his millennial housewife, and it's my hope and prayer to inspire you to become the best versions of yourselves, all through the standard of the Word of God, because the best life is the one that's led by Christ. So let's get into today's video. So if you saw my last video, then you know that I have been going without sugar for an entire month so far. So I just wanted to come on here to give you guys a check-in. Initially, I did that for my skin to see how my skin would react. When I went to my esthetician, she was suggesting, like, I think, you know, if you go without sugar, then your skin will start to clear up. So I decided to see what it would do after a month, and as you can see, I'm not wearing any makeup, and just looking at my skin right now, let me get a little bit closer. I have even more breakout and blemishes than I had before. I have one on my forehead, all through here. After comparing the pictures, I can tell the difference in my skin. It looks brighter and a lot smoother than the before picture. Aside from the new pimples, I'd say that there was a slight change. So yeah, I was a little bit disappointed, and I realized that, you know, it takes time for your skin to clear up, but I just thought, like, me cutting out sugar completely would really help to speed that process up. I definitely didn't think that I was going to be getting new blemishes. I was like, I was staying positive, but I still was like, dang, I thought that it was going to be a noticeable change, at least no more active live bumps. So yes, for my skin, what I'm going to be doing is tweaking the products a little bit, because honestly, I think we changed the products that I was using right when I went to get my facial. And what I was using before that, I really liked the combination. I liked the way it was making my skin feel. But after we changed the products, ever since then, it's like just been constant breakout here. And I honestly think that it could be because of the acne medication, like salicylic acid and things like that in the products, because I remember that I was using that years ago, and over the years my skin has changed. You know, it's not as oily as it used to be. It's actually more dry. So I think I'm gonna focus more on trying to keep it hydrated, and with that, I'm trying a couple new products. So I would definitely, you know, be able to speak to that and how that changes with the way that my skin is looking. And I also, my goal is to be able to get a facial once a month, and I know that that will help as well. So far as my skin goes and no sugar, I mean, if I were to just go just on like no sugar for a month, if that was like okay, I'm stopping at a month to see if it helps. If I was just going by that, I'd be like, bring on the sweets, because it don't matter anyway. But on this no sugar thing, the no sugar tip, I have actually learned quite a bit just in this 30 days of not eating sugar. And when I say that, you know, I told you that I wasn't being super nitpicky. Obviously, I wasn't eating candy. I wasn't eating sugary snacks, cookies, or anything like that. I also didn't have certain condiments like ketchup, barbecue sauce. I really didn't eat that. I maybe had that maybe like once or twice in the whole month. And even then, it was like a very little. So I intentionally did that. I intentionally avoided. I knew that had higher contents of sugar. I also really didn't have a lot of honey. Honey is something that I think that I could add into my diet as far as like something sweet. But it was just like, it has such a high content of sugar in it. It's not necessarily, it didn't say added sugar, but you know, it's sweet in general. So I didn't really have that. I haven't struggled too much with not eating sugar, and I honestly think that's because I told y'all I asked God to help me, and He has really helped me, because I have not really had a desire to eat any sweets, and I've had the opportunity to do it. And I think it has something to do with my mindset and just making that quality decision, but also working with Holy Spirit to help me in the times where I have been weak. Because there has been, mostly it's been nighttime, where it's like I'll be craving something. I'm like, oh, I really want something sweet, but I'll end up just eating some fruit. So now, what have I learned just from in this month of not eating sugar? Well, the first thing I would say is I got used to some dry food. because I was avoiding condiments and stuff like that. Toast, I didn't eat jelly or anything like that, and so I would have a little bit of the plant-based butter that we have, and then I would just eat that, and I was like, huh. So I was like really getting used to the dry, like having drier food. And with this, I noticed that I didn't really desire food like I used to. And that was something that also kind of just like drops into my mind one day. I'm thinking like, I don't think we're really intended to just say enjoy food the way that we do, because I think the way that the food was intentionally made is designed to allow you to eat until you're satisfied, but not overeat. And we know that there's a lot of chemicals, there's a lot of preservatives, there's a lot of things that now are put into the food, one, to make it better, to make it look more appealing, make it taste better, but there's also things that are put into it, especially the sugar foods that are specifically designed for you to be addicted to it. So I think that with that, we desire food way more than what we are created to enjoy food. And because that was something that I used to say, like, oh, I like to eat. And it's like, it sounds crazy, but I really did. And I looked forward to like a really rich meal. But I noticed like with not eating sugar, I wasn't really into the food as much. Like I wasn't craving the food like I would normally do, and that's probably stopped me from overeating some things. Oh, and one of the things that I also was paying attention to was with the labels. Like, just because it has better ingredients doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best for you, because we already try to shop for more healthy ingredients. So we'll try to buy organic when we can. Even the snacks that we get, they tend to be healthier options than the other ones, but those were some things that I still didn't eat because I still didn't want necessarily the sugar that it had in it. And I was able to make a conscious decision, like, okay, do I want to eat this? Like, is it really worth it? And so moving forward, I'm going to continue to do that, just so, like I said, I am at least aware of what I'm eating, and I can make the conscious decision as opposed to just mindlessly eating. Because I think the recommended sugar intake is like 36 grams, if I'm not mistaken. And in a lot of things, it's like 17 grams. And it's like, that's just in the serving. Like, we know most people don't even go by the serving size, right? Unless you actually are measuring it out. Most people, naturally, we're not just gonna eat a serving, whatever the recommended serving size is. So what am I gonna do moving forward? I am going to continue this no sugar journey. I think that it is definitely sustainable, and I think about my son because he hasn't had a lot of sugar, period. Like, he hasn't had cake before. Has he had cake? I don't think he has. He hasn't had ice cream. He's had a cookie, but he hasn't eaten the whole thing. So we purposely haven't introduced him to a lot of sweets, not even like juice. So I'm like, and he's fine. He's about to be 3, and obviously he hasn't had it yet, so he hasn't had that taste of want to crave it. But my point is like, he's just fine. You know what I mean? He goes to parties and he doesn't eat it. So if I do that with, and I mean, eventually we probably will let him have it, but we just think like, okay, he's so young right now. If we can control it for as long as we can, why not prolong it? Because we know that he's not missing anything. And here he comes on cue. He talking about he want pizza.
Hey, Vera!
No, I'm not talking to Grandma. Okay, hold on. No. Leave it there. Go tell Daddy you want pizza. Oh, wait. Go under the cord. Okay. Close the door, okay? Thank you. I think that it is sustainable. It's just taking a different mindset for me. Like, I have to change my mindset of thinking like I'm missing something. Like, I'm really not. I don't want what comes with that. And not only what I can see. Like I said, I haven't visually seen how it's helping my skin, but I know it's not hurting it. I haven't visually seen what it's doing internally, but I know that my organs can function better without all this added sugar. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that that's going to help my health long term, and that's gonna be my goal, like, moving forward, just to continue to do this. I will give you updates on my skin. I know y'all, like, I thought it was gonna be a better transformation. This I might make this the before and then do the other one for after and then go from there. No, but I wanted to be transparent with you guys, and what I'm dealing with. Like, this is it. This is the reality. But overall, my no sugar adventure for a month has been great. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to y'all very soon. This video is all over the place, y'all. I'm gonna have to edit. Y'all pray for me.